Hopefully you guys can hear me. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm gonna eat my food while I'm sitting here first. This sandwich is so massive. This sandwich looks incredible, but it's also way too big. Way too big. You guys, hi, how are you? How's it going? Welcome. I am out live I'm live in the field, and I'm having dinner with you guys because I love doing that. We have so much fun together. We're gonna talk about Yelp reviews on Vanderpump Rules restaurants because those have been really fun to read. I did it on another live, like I think last week I did it on a live, and it was so funny to listen to the reviews. And I did like the reviews from like Vanderpump Rules, like lore times. But I thought we could do other ones too. Like you guys could tell me what year you want me to look into with certain restaurants, like Tom Tom, Vanderpump Rules, Vanderpump Rules, Sir Pump, any of the Vegas restaurants. I think that'd be really funny. And then I also wanted to talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and what you guys are thinking so far. I think I'm on episode 8 when they start doing the Angels and Devils party. I haven't watched that episode yet, but that's where I'm at. I got some type of like BLT sandwich. Oh, it tastes good. Alright, if you're part of the replay crew, some housewarming things. Number 1, obviously go check out the podcast on my podcast channel. Also, go check me out on all social medias, follow the Discord. I will put all that information in after this live because for some reason it's not letting me put it in right now. So I'll put it in after. And what else? Oh. No, I'm good. This is not OF. I don't know if you know that. We're on the wrong website. Wrong website, Poppy. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? So, yeah. So, you guys let me know what you want to talk about first. You want to talk about Mormon wives first? Do you want to talk about Vanderpump Rules first? Do you want to talk about something else? Honestly, don't know. If it would be real, don't know. Something double D. There's always booed guys in these chats. But yeah, tell me what year and what restaurant you guys want me to, not restaurant. Yeah, what restaurant? Tell me what year and which Vanderpump restaurant you guys want me to search first. The drink is called a Blue Hawaiian. And it is lemon or lime, blueberry, fruit something. I don't know. It's a mix of stuff, but it's called a Blue Hawaiian. No, I am not. Unfortunately, I think my dating life would have been a lot different. I am sadly straight. What do you guys want to talk about? Obviously, like I said, I have my topics that I can talk about tonight. But if there's something you guys would rather talk about, let me know in the comments. The last time we did Vanderpump Rules with restaurants, we did Sir, which I'm going to start with. And Natalie was in the comment section on Yelp, and it was iconic. People are like sitting there like complaining about this restaurant. And she was just in the comment section just going ham. It was so funny. Alright, I'm gonna find it. Let's go to Yelp. type of work I do on None Your Business. Alright, so wait, what is this? I want to do restaurants. And we want to do West Hollywood search. I am not, girl, I wish I was. I'm not. Go find my Yelp. I'm not my Yelp. Go find my Venmo and send me some money, honey. Sadly, I'm from America. All right, let me see if I can find, I think I have to do it this way. Sir. Restaurant. Hi, how are you? Let's see if I can find the reviews. Yelp, here we go. Okay. I'm from America. America has a problem. As Beyonce says. Okay. Ooh, Namibia. Dear God. That is far away. Alright, so we're going to start out with Sir Restaurant and Lounge. So the theme it says on here is New American, Mediterranean, and French. Okay. It has a 3.3 stars out of 4,400 reviews. So here we go, reviews. So I always start with the 1 stars because duh, I want to know what's going on. Hold on, can I do the date range? I want 1 star. Oldest first. My name is Sam. Alright, so we want to go, we don't want to go, Jesus, I don't want to go that. Where are we? There we go. We want to go with my friend, but she's gay. Well, lucky her. Okay, so I feel like I read this one. Okay, so this is from 2013, and this is when Natalie was like in the comments of Yelp reviews, basically being like, "No, sir, is the best place ever. How dare you say anything negative about us? Give me a call on my personal cell phone," which is wild to me. Okay, wild. So this is her first review. So this is a review by a guy named John T from Santa Barbara, California. He gives it a 1 star. This is from 2013. He said, "Do not fall for the hype of this pretentious, grossly overrated, quite bad excuse for a restaurant. We made reservations 2 weeks in advance for 9:15. No. For 9:15 p.m. and arrived exactly on time, but were told to wait 10 minutes or so in the bar. After buying drinks, which took forever, while the pretty boy bartender, too obsessed with his own shirt, dark features, and carefully plucked eyebrows, ignored everyone long enough to show how cool he is. Is this Jax? We don't know." They brought us to a table. Oh, and waiting more than 30 minutes, we finally asked about the progress of the table and were told it could be another 20 minutes. Then, when they finally called us, we were preparing to walk out. They brought us to a table in the bar smack dab next to the large party and busy walkway. That particular party had been empty the entire time. That particular table had been empty the entire time we were there in the bar. When we refused to sit there, they made us wait for another 5 minutes before shuffling us off to a very small and cramped table at the entrance of a makeshift tented patio on a street corner in front of the restaurant. Sir, that is where Kristen Doty said suck a dick. Okay, so you clearly don't know the iconic area that you are standing in. A manager ultimately got involved before we were seated, and she half-heartedly implied she might be willing to buy us a drink when she asked if we needed anything from the bar, which we did not. Interesting was the fact that while asking again for a table after 50 minutes, I was interrupted by a drunk and boisterous woman screaming at the hostess that she had not seen her waitress for a long time, and her large, more ways than one party more ways than one had been wanting to leave for 15 minutes but couldn't get their check. Girl, at that point, you just walk out. If you've been waiting for more than like 20 minutes for a check, like if they've gotten everything off of your table and they've removed everything and you're sitting there like, leave. Just get up and fucking leave. And like walk up to the hostess and be like, here, or like walk up to the hostess and go, here's my check. I've been waiting for 20 minutes. It's not busy. Who do I have to pay? Otherwise, I'm not going to pay. Like those are your choices. Struggling to keep an open mind after reaching our table at last, we were pleasantly surprised by the kind waiter, Giorgio something, who seemed to know we had waited an extraordinary long amount and did a good job of rushing our caprese salad after we ordered it immediately upon taking our seat. Unfortunately, the salad itself was a complete and utter disappointment. Although the buffalo mozzarella seemed fresh and the balsamic was probably aged 25 years, the tomatoes were practically green, not a good green tomato, and the basil was barely washed. It looked and tasted like the chef slapped the cheese and basil on the tomatoes. They probably did. Quickly drizzled some oil and vinegar and sent it out. There was no flavor, not a hint of spice, and the blandness of the tomatoes overpowered the settled balsamic. Wanting to give them as many chances as possible, sir, we then ordered the lobster bisque. I don't know why you would order anything fish from a Vanderpump restaurant. That's just me, though. That's just me, okay? What the do I know, okay? Hold on. I must eat. It's so nice out today. Holy shit. Okay. So, because we had two disappointing first courses, we opted for a third. I don't know why you would opt for a third. You already hated what you've eaten so far. Stop ordering more food. And ordered a beet salad, which was nothing like the way it was described. Rather than warm roasted beets, which sounds fucking gross, we got what tasted like room temperature beets from a can thrown together with some microgreens and cheese. It probably was from a can. But darling, you don't want beets from a can. Why wouldn't you want a beet from a can? I'm Lisa Vanderpump. The only possible saving grace was 3 kernels of caramel-flavored popcorn thrown in for good measure, adding much-needed texture and some sweetness to balance out the tart dressing. So hold on. So a roasted beet salad with what sounds like Cracker Jacks on top, okay? A warm beet salad with Cracker Jacks on top. That sounds fucking disgusting. For entrees, we had homemade meatloaf with mashed potatoes, gravy, and vegetables, and the recommendation of the waiter. Hold on. It was American, French, and Mediterranean. Is that what I said at the beginning? That's what sir is like categorized as. The recommendation of the waiter, who called it his favorite dish, I had seared ahi tuna and sauteed spinach and sauteed mushrooms. The meatloaf was flavorless, except for a bacon or salami, hard to tell which, that was wrapped around it on top. The gravy was cold, bland, and pasty. The vegetables were so unoriginal and flavorless that it is hard to recall they were there. Think carrots, zucchini, and green beans steamed with no butter or salt. On the tuna plate, the spinach swam in a pudding of oil and the mushrooms were overcooked. Both vegetables, however, were far better than the main event. The ahi tuna at $29, which everything at Vanderpump restaurants is overpriced. And it's not just the restaurants. Like, it has nothing to do with the restaurants. It's just the area. That area is always going to be overpriced. It's just what it is. But it was totally raw in the middle and overcooked. Is an ahi tuna supposed to be raw? Am I stupid? Overcooked on the edges as though the chef used a frozen piece of meat, which would explain the lack of flavor. Probably did. I'm not sure if I was rolled in, if it was rolled in sesame seeds or peppercorns or what, but whatever it was, it seemed as though it had first been blanched to remove any flavor. The temperature was awful, warm on the outside despite having been cooked too much and cold on the inside. You already said that. This is over explaining. Bad texture, bad preparation, and bad presentation. In a rare move, we decided we did not even want to see dessert menus, and despite not having spent the full amount of $100 gift card, which we should have also used for the drinks that were priced at $10 each, you're in LA. What do you think you're going to be getting? We left the balance for the waiter with a tip for his efforts and moved on. The decor and crowd at Sir is completely fake in a way that was that would embarrass Vegas. Well, funny enough, she has a restaurant in Vegas now. So Natalie went underneath and commented. She commented, we have to look and see how many years she was commenting. Because this was, I remember when I did this video, she was commenting in all of 2013. Like all of 2013. We're always open to feedback, John, even if it's tough to hear. You've given us a lot of areas to improve upon, which is hilarious because there's an episode of Vanderpump Rules where Lisa has a spy, like, restaurateur come in and try to, like, critique the cast, which clearly they didn't take any of that critique in any way, shape, or form. Approve upon, knowing that I'll be looking into them directly. If you have any other commentary you'd like to add, I can be reached at this number. All right, let's skip ahead a couple. Let's skip ahead a couple years. This is from. I can't even show you the photo of this human being. This is a Yelp. This is on your Yelp page. Okay, look at. Are you ready? Can you see that? Can you see that right there? Connect the dots. That's your Yelp page. That's your Yelp picture. This isn't an OF channel. So this is Danielle I from Santa Barbara, California. This is in 2013, and she also gave a 1-star review. She said, man, I've had way better. The reason why I gave this place 1 star is because of the service. It was horrible. When I asked for something, the server acted like it was the hardest task ever. Is it that hard to bring out another set of silverware? Like, isn't that your job? Wow, no thanks, will not be back. Your review, this is Natalie, is certainly a concern, Danielle, and I want you to know that we take this sort of complaint seriously. No, you don't. Do you remember who waited on you when you were here? I'd like to speak to them directly with that person so I can get a better idea of why this happened. It was probably one of your shit servers that is on the cast of Vanderpump Rules. That's probably what it was. That's probably who it was. All right, let's see if I can keep skipping forward a little bit. This is 2014. Hold on, guys. I need to take a bite of this sandwich. I'm starving. I apologize if you don't like food noises, but I need to eat. I'm hungry. All right. We move forward. So now we're in 2014, okay? This is from Giselle R. She gave it a 1-star review. She said, really like Lisa on the show, but the restaurant not so much. Gave it twice a try, and both times the food was all right. The place needs a new chef. This is the thing that always fascinated me about Lisa Vanderpump, is that she has so many restaurants. And you know how, like, when you go to these, like, nicer, fancy restaurants, especially ones that, try to be the caliber that Lisa likes to pretend she has, they're always being like, oh, the hottest, newest chef is here. This is our chef. Chef blah, 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 made this, blah, 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 blah. You almost never hear her talking about the chefs. Hey, I'm watching your stream from the hospital with my bro. It would mean a lot if you could shout him out. His name is Nick. Hi, Nick. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing good. It always fascinates me that she never had, like, a famous chef, or she never had a chef that she, like, called out regularly. The only chef I can think of is, what's-her-face that tried to scam Katie and Ariana with something about her. That's the only one I could think of. But other than that, like, she never had, like, some big-name chef. And I always found that to be fascinating at none of her restaurants. She was like, oh, Chef Garçon, Chef Moumou, Chef Blah Blah. I feel like she never had, like, a chef. So, Natalie said below, I'm happy to hear you were impressed with our staff and our venue, but I'm sorry we failed to wow you with our food. May I ask what you ordered when you were here? We certainly strive to be better than just all right, and additional feedback would be improved. Here's the additional feedback. Stop microwaving your food in the back. Oh, shut up. Okay, ready for this one? Here we go. Here's the good one. Here's the tea. This is from Jason, okay, from 2014. I brought my girlfriend's family here for the first night visiting LA. We were part of a party of 5, and I asked 3 times for the server to bring out the 5th place setting, and it wasn't brought out until the food came, which is not, in my opinion, that's not a big deal. As long as it's out there when the food's out there, that's all I care about. They also only brought 3 of the dishes out, and we had to wait 5 minutes for a second 2 dishes. The server never asked us how everything was or if we needed anything. I complained to the manager, and he didn't acknowledge us for the rest of the night. Then my girlfriend's 12-year-old sister, who has never been to LA, points to a huge cockroach above. After about 5 minutes, the manager reaches up with a napkin and claims to have caught it, but many patrons claim to have seen it fall. No one can pay attention to anything except keeping the eyes on the floor. 10 minutes later, my girlfriend's mom screams as a cockroach is crawling right next to her shoulder. Hashtag infested. Not the cockroaches. Do you serve cockroaches? Do you serve cockroaches at Pump? Pumping out the cockroaches. Oh my god, that's crazy. So Natalie comments below, and she goes, right away, I want to apologize for your poor experience and reassure you that we take cleanliness very seriously here, Jason, which I'm sorry is not true. There's so many videos and so many comments and posts about how Sir is like dusty, basically. How it's like old, dusty, crusty, busted. It's like you hit a pillow and it's like poof. Everybody knows this about Sir. Everybody knows this. If you're an avid follower, okay? It comes as a complete shock to hear that there was a cockroach in the dining room, as that's never come up before. Natalie, stop lying. Stop lying. We hold our restaurant to the highest standard and keep everything within California code. I'm sure you do. Our team is well equipped to address our guest concerns, and to be honest, this doesn't sound like how our manager would handle a situation like the one that you described. Well, let's see. One of your managers loved to have full-blown out fucking fisticuff fights with her bartender boyfriend. What was her name again? She was from like season 8, I think, when they brought in that like weird group of new cast members. She was in there, and she got suspended because her and her boyfriend were having like full-blown like bar fights and shit. So that actually does sound like something that would happen. Our team is well equipped to address your concerns, and to be honest, it doesn't sound like something a manager would do. If you have a moment, would you mind telling me when you came in? Was this your first visit of our place? Yes, it is. It just said this is the first night in LA, okay? Who was the manager that you spoke with? The more details I have, the better I can address your concerns and look into this. I hope that we can make things right and one day have the opportunity to show you the 5-star experience we're known for and you deserve. You're not known for a 5-star experience. You're known for a 3-star experience. And I'm going to assume back in the day you were still at that. All right, let's keep pushing towards more further years. So this is from Amy. This is from 2015. She says 1 star for the crowd and the ambiance, 0 stars for the food and service. Clearly people don't like the food at Sir. Like that is a ongoing issue, is the food. It's just bland, blah food. And it's like, I could have fucking told you that. I've never eaten there a day in my life. I have had followers send me photos and pictures. I should look through my DMs and see if I can find a DM that I got that she sent me photos of. She went to Sir, I think, and Tom Tom. Tom Tom, I will say, I have had a lot of followers say that Tom Tom is good overall, and it's probably the best out of all the West Hollywood restaurants. I've been told that consistently. I've been sent photos. I've been sent all kinds of stuff. And everybody pretty much overall says Tom Tom is like pretty damn good. So, this says, I know, I'm assuming this says I don't get why Lisa Vanderpump has to promote her restaurant so profusely on TV. How else, how else could a business with such subpar food and service continue to stay afloat? I can give you lots of reasons why. Don't buy the hype. It's totally underwhelming. I'm sure this place will still be packed with tourists who think they're experiencing the real LA. Yes, real, as in really TV manufactured and disappointing. It's like, I don't know, it's just one of those restaurants where you don't have to go there to know that it's like cheesy as fuck. Like, you can just tell that it is a cheesy ass restaurant. I don't even believe that Lisa Vanderpump puts brand new flowers in there every single fucking day. I don't believe that for a second. I think she only did that on days that she was filming. I don't think every single day she goes in and does that. I personally don't think she does that, but that's just me. All right, let's see if I can find, I want to see if I can find ones like with the actual, I think I already read that one. Okay, let's read this one. This is from Estelle. She's from London, England, and this is from 2015. And she said, oh, did she update this review? Oh, she did. She updated this. I love when they update the reviews. Okay. This one said, we were on holiday in LA from England. My friend is a huge fan of the show, so Sir was our first destination. We were unfortunately introduced to our server, Peter. Peter's catching strays. My friend asked for some further information regarding a dish on the menu. Peter was extremely condescending and rude. I requested a little more butter, of which he brought out a plate and dumped on top of the bread on my side plate. He was thoroughly unpleasant man. It was an awful experience. I definitely would not recommend. It sounds like you had a pretty confusing experience with Estelle. This is from Natalie. You're always welcome to ask for anything you may need, and we're sorry if you felt unwelcome during your visit. We'd love to know, do you remember the exact date? We were on holiday in LA from England. My friend is a huge fan. Oh, she repeated herself? Food was distinctly average and awful experience, and I would definitely not recommend save your money. Yeah, she just like repeated herself underneath it. Everybody says how horrible this food is. Hi, Zaya. It's so crazy how, oh, this has Jax's name in it. So this is from San Francisco. This person's from San Francisco, California. This is from 2015. And it says, came here one night last year for a drink with my husband and a friend of ours. And had Jax Taylor, yes, the guy on Bravo, make our drinks. I can't explain in words how awful they were. I'm pretty sure he just threw some sour mix and liquor into all of our glasses, even though we all ordered different things off the cocktail menu. They weren't just bad, they were truly awful. My husband couldn't continue to drink his after a couple of sips. We thought about sending them back, but decided instead to put the drinks down and head to another place. Perhaps the other bartenders are better at making drinks and greeting customers, but we won't be going back to find out. Or maybe our bartender was just having an off night. He was not having an off night. It happens to all of us, right? What is yours can try? I'm not sure what that means. Perhaps the other bartenders are better at making drinks, blah, blah, blah. Also, we didn't particularly appreciate his condescending attitude. We're pretty laid back people and don't expect to be waited on hand and foot, but any greeting or form of acknowledgement while we're ordering would have been nice, as we typically receive from normal bartenders. I don't believe that's expecting too much, but instead we had an order from a cranky bartender who clearly had no desire to be there or to be serving customers. Yes, Jax Taylor has no desire to be serving drinks. No desire to be working. Sorry guys, had higher hopes for a better experience at this place, but to be honest, no bueno. Natalie underneath says all of our bartenders are very skilled, LZ. That's not true. So we're pretty surprised to read about this. We aim for friendly and welcoming service. We're sorry we'll let you down. It sounds like it's been a while since you visited, but we'd be curious to know which drink did you order. It doesn't matter. It's literally, Jax is literally on the show, consistently talking about how he has no fucking clue how to make anything. They have episodes where they take like bartending classes, and they're like, they're like, Jaxie boy, what's in a pinkity drinkity? And he's like, oh, I don't know, pinks, drinks, whatever. He has no fucking clue of what is in half of the drinks. Sam, my name is Sam. Hilarious. Hilarious. Uh-oh. This one says, went there Sunday night and had 2 glasses of wine only. Just checked my bank statement online. Server charged a $40 tip instead of $4. Watch them carefully. Now this is just absolutely shocking to read, Amanda. We're glad you brought this to our attention. Girl, again, whew, don't do that with dogs around.
Yeah. When I fight, when I've ever fought, I never lose when I really want to. Well, this is one of those pictures of like
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that man that just walked by and was like, when I want to fight, when I like really want to fight, I never lose. Fight what? You should have seen this man. He was a short man. And I don't know if he was talking about verbally fighting or physically fighting, but sir, the girl that was with him was taller than him. Okay? Okay. All right, so this is from Papa S in Los Angeles from 2015. He says, was super excited to go to Sir and experience Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant. I was disappointed immediately with the lack of flowers. On Real House of Beverly Hills, the flowers are shown to be abundant and beautiful. Our server, Sheena, who was more concerned with taking photos with the other customers than attending her table of 5. One of the 5 orders was delayed and no apology was offered. In fact, Sheena was nonchalant and seemingly unaware that one of her guests had not received their meal. Compared to our experience at the Ivy the night before, where the server, food, and flowers were outstanding, Sir fell short of the mark. That, again, does not shock me in any way, shape, or form. Okay, let's keep pushing it a little bit. Let's get out of the... Oh, wait, I love when there's pictures. You guys, look at this. Look at this food. Are you ready? Okay. This is not pressed. They were the only ones that did not have lines out the door during Pride. That's interesting because every Pride episode, this is from 2015, you guys. Every Pride episode, you would think that the place was booming. Okay, booming. It says, I see why. The food was not all that horrible, but it was a typical bar food. The service was horrendous. I don't need to elaborate because it was a waste of time. I mean, Pride is a shit show, so. Okay, so here's... I don't know if I can do it this way. Okay, ready? Here's one thing of food. Oh, you guys, stop. Hold on. Where's it? Here we go. Okay, there you go. Ready? That looks like a hamburger from Applebee's. That looks fucking gross. Whatever the hell that is. What is that? An enchilada? What is that? Those French fries. Those are bar French fries if I've ever seen them. That's a sandwich. That's no better than the sandwich I'm eating right now. And that was it. That was it for photos. That's kind of funny. The photos kind of solidify it for me. If you're driving from anywhere farther than 10 minutes away, don't waste your gas or time. The restaurant itself was elegant and nicely set up. The drinks were terrible. I didn't know it was possible to mess up a mixed drink. You've obviously never been to a Vanderpump restaurant. I'm trying to find ones that have the actual cast members' names in here. A lot of waiting. Service is horrible. Food is horrible. A lot of people saying the food is horrible. Oh, someone's calling the cops here. Here we go. Are you ready? This one says somebody is calling the cops. We must know. Sorry for the chewing. But you're getting an ASMR. You're getting asthma. Okay, so this is from RM in 2015. It says, this place is the worst establishment we have ever been to in our lives. It's all hype because it's on the TV show. The girls that work here are dressed half naked, bras showing, underwear almost visible. We had reservations right when they opened, and we were the only table, yet our waitress was only there to take the order, and that was it. We had to call her numerous times because she wasn't checking on us, probably because gratuity was added in, so she was getting a tip from us no matter what. So why would she do her job? I thought they chose, was it season 1? I mean, this is past season 1, but I thought season 1 they agreed. Oh no, yeah, they do. What was it? Did they agree or did they disagree on how they were going to do their tips in season 1? Didn't they like decide? I thought they decided that they wanted to have the individual tips because some people, aka Stassi, were not pulling their fucking weight. We had to call for her numerous times because she wasn't checking in on us. Probably because gratuity was added and so she was getting a tip from us no matter what. So why would she do her job? My sister's entree came out completely wrong 2 times in a row. We asked for a medium well steak and both times it came out completely well done. Makes no sense. At that point, we asked for a manager and spoke to her about the crappy service and the inexcusable entree coming out wrong twice. She stood there and listened for about 10, maybe 15 minutes because there was a lot to say. You're complaining for 10 to 15 minutes? 10 to 15 minutes is wild to me. She stood there and listened, blah, 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 blah. Said a lot. She understood and was sorry, but felt the need to say, I'm just so shocked to hear this because she's one of my best servers and she's been working here for 10 years and never once have we received a complaint about her. First of all, that has to be a lie. Secondly, don't try to give her these credits when we're telling you she was horrible this time. Finally, the bill comes and we had to ask to separate checks from the beginning. But of course, the waitress couldn't get that right either. So we all got one check and had to go through the struggle of figuring out who was paying what amount. And the manager just stood there watching us go through the annoyance and didn't acknowledge it. Lastly, we had asked in the beginning if we could get a dessert brought at the end of our meal to our mother because she had received her bachelor's degree and we were celebrating. We knew we would have to pay for the service and that was fine. The dessert never came. So on our way out, we decided to speak with the manager once more to let her know this waitress really was not up to par that night. And she walks us up to us and says, "Hi, I'm really busy on the phone. What did you need?" And we tried to explain to her that we didn't receive the service we asked for. And she said, "I really can't talk to you right now. I'm on an important call. You can wait if you want." And we then asked if we would be able to talk outside when we can because it was very loud. And she grabbed my sister's arm and shoved her forward, saying they could talk outside. And then she pushed the guard out after her and had him block her out. And he tell us we're no longer allowed back in. And behind him, the manager waves and yells, "Bye." So she lied and said she would speak with us just because she didn't want to deal with us and tricked us into walking outside. She should never have grabbed my sister like that. We called the cops and they never showed up. We should not have to pay for this meal, especially after the manager putting hands on one of us. She should be fired. This was ridiculous. The manager was Diana. That's who it was, you guys. It was Diana. Diana's a... Right? Wasn't it Diana was like the cuckoo crazy one? Natalie says, "I'm absolutely shocked to read your review. We put a big emphasis on attentive customer service and it sounds like there were a few miscommunications. Would you mind sending us a private message with the date and time of your visit? I'm eager to looking into this experience." I bet you friggin' are, Natalie. I think that's good enough for now. So those are just some of the reviews that were making me cackle. Let's talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives for just a hair, and then we'll be done. So here's my reviews so far. I am up to episode 8 right now, which is the Angels and Devils episode. And there's like 3 more. I think there's 10 episodes total. So I got 8, 9, and 10 to watch. What I will say so far is that I think this season is very good compared to the first season, in my opinion. I think it's really good. I think it's really goofy, funny, stupid. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope nobody's going into it, watching it, and being like, oh my god, this is like Thelma. Like, this is like the ultimate, just the most incredible, like, most incredible show on television. It's like, no, it's like shitty reality TV. Like, that's what it is. It's just shitty reality TV. And I just think it's like really good for what it is. It's good reality TV. It's good, just shitty watching television, good gossip. I will say the biggest compliment I have about this show right now is that I absolutely love how much they break down the fourth wall. I cannot tell you how much I absolutely love that about this show. I love that they are constantly talking about like their pay, where, like, when they got on the show, like, they're always breaking the fourth wall. And I really, really like that about this show, like, a lot. And I think, in my opinion, I think more reality TV shows should do that. I will say another thing that really bothers me is that I don't know why the women are arguing with each other over pay when they should be coming together and setting up a united front to be like, no, we're all going to get paid equally. The only person that shouldn't have gotten paid equally in that group is Miranda, and that's because Miranda, obviously this is her first season. But the other women should have came together and go, listen, we want to do this show together. We really want to, like, come as a united front. Nobody is better than the other. Like, let's just do this together and let's get paid equally. Let's all get paid equally. That's what they should have done. Because in my opinion, not one of those women, except for Taylor, and I'm not crawling up Taylor's ass, but if we're going to be real, like, the show was put together because of Taylor's bullshit. But every one of those women like, literally every one of these women have brought something to this show. Have brought drama, brought stupidity, brought, the typical Mormon craziness. So it's like, why can't they all just get paid the same? It's so weird to me that conversation got brought up. But I will say, I loved it. I fucking loved it. When they're sitting at the restaurant and they're talking about their pay and how much they make and who's more important and who's not, and like, I asked for this. And then what's even crazier is that out of all the people that Demi backstabbed and Demi gave shit to, was Jessie. It's like, I thought you and Jessie were besties. And out of all the women that you're fighting over, out of all the women that you're bitching and complaining about, it's your own friend? It's so weird to me. I don't get it. If I was Jessie, I would be like, we're done. Like, I feel like Demi is tiptoeing into a very dark place. She's like, I can only compare the show to Housewives, obviously. And Demi reminds me of one of those housewives that gets a little bit too big for their britches. And then by their second or third season, all of their shit comes out. All of their, bad financial choices, all of their bad relationships, all of their bad decisions that they've ever made start coming out. And when Demi is sitting there being like, obviously I was a fan favorite, I'm like, girl, don't say that part out loud. Like, why are you saying that out loud? And like, that part was crazy to me, that she said that out loud. I was like, Demi, sweetie, don't say that out loud.
Let's go and retrace our stuff.
Oh, let's go back.
I bet it keeps getting caught on your first handle. If you're holding your first wrist.
One of these women lost something, and now they're retracing their steps and going back, so I had to pause for a second because it was really awkward. So, sorry guys. So what's crazy to me, Because I can't believe Demi was admitting some of the shit that she was admitting. I'm like, girl, there's a camera on you. Do you not see that? And she's sitting there bitching and complaining. And like, well, we all know that I was a fan favorite. I'm like, Demi, stop talking. Just stop talking. I can't believe she openly admitted that on camera. And then I was proud of, this is the thing that cracks me up about Taylor that I don't understand about Taylor, okay? Taylor is an anomaly to me. Because when it comes to the women, Taylor, for whatever reason, overall, I think is a really good communicator to the women. I think she has overall really good conversations. I think she speaks up for herself very good. I think she's very good at articulating for herself. It's when she starts talking to the men or she starts talking to Dakota is when she starts losing her mind. Clearly, Dakota is very triggering for her. And that relationship, I mean, those two people should not be together in any way, shape, or form. Like, let's be fucking real right now. They should not be together. And they are both, they both have way too much trauma. And I think I said this on a TikTok where I was talking about them. And I was saying how, what I think about them is this, is that they both have, one of them basically would need to suck it up and not deal with their own trauma in order for the other one to deal with their trauma, become a better person, and then they can move on to the next person doing that. Does that make sense? Like, these two people cannot be traumatic and have trauma and drama in their life at the same time. Dakota and Taylor cannot do that. They cannot be both in the element that they're in. And that's really hard because I don't think either one of them is willing to like drop their bullshit so that way the other one can fix theirs. I don't think that's physically possible for either one of them. Which is really sad because I don't know, like, you know, when you just like can tell when someone's just like a shit person, like Jax, for example, where it's like, oh, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to be a better person. No, you're not. You're fucking not. Let's be for real, please. You are not trying to be a better person. You are not trying to get better. You are trying to give the essence of getting better, but you're not actually better. Like, you actually have an actual problem and you're not going to get any better. Whereas, again, I could be being completely bamboozled, but I genuinely feel like Taylor and Dakota are actually overall like good people that are so fucked up. That are just so, they have so many problems. And I feel like Taylor's said that a million times. She's like, I'm just a really fucked up person. And she clearly has a lot of trauma when it comes to men, which, girl, don't we all? But her especially has a lot of trauma with men. And then because of that, like, she has to stop being in relationships with men. She has to stop dating them. She has to stop being with them. She genuinely needs to be on her own. And she needs to just co-parent with Dakota. And I feel like if they could just do that, I feel like they could be really great co-parents and really great friends. But like everything, I don't know. And the other thing about therapy is at some point you have to stop allowing the trauma and the drama to trigger you. At some point you have to recognize what the trigger is. And then you have to, if you're going to keep these things in your life that possibly could trigger you, at some point you do have to go, I recognize that that's about to trigger me and I have to step away from it, or I have to like move forward head on. And I think that's something that she does not do very well, is that she knows what triggers her. She knows what's going to piss her off. She knows what's going to upset her, and she still puts herself in the line of fire and she still gets triggered by it. And it's like, at some point you do have to figure out what your triggers are, and you either have to know how to deal with them head on, or you have to stop putting yourself in the situation to be fucking triggered. Like, she has the ability to step outside of herself and stop getting so triggered by so many things that she has control over. The other thing, and this is impossible, this will never happen, and this is what sucks and is very sad, her family is very triggering. Her mother, Taylor's mother, is wild, wild west. Taylor's mom is a fucking nightmare. She is a stage mom. And the fact that she continues, here's the thing, it's like, okay, I understood when they were at the barbecue, I understood what her dad was trying to say. He just said it horribly and made his daughter sound like a complete hoe bag. But I understand what Taylor's dad was trying to say, which is like, You can't, you have to have more respect for yourself in order to get respect from other people. And you went out and didn't have respect for yourself and treated yourself horribly, which is why you're surrounding yourself with men that are going to treat you like shit. And I understand that, just the way that he said it was the worst. He said it so stupidly. I was like, oh my God, you just called your daughter a hoe. Like, what the hell? But he's right in the sense of like, girl, you keep putting yourself in bad situations. What do you expect the outcome is going to be? Like, at some point, Taylor really does have to break the cycle. And clearly her problem is men. It doesn't feel to me like she has a big issue with communicating to women. It seems to me like Taylor's communication issues are with men. Because when she's talking to the women, I genuinely feel like she's pretty good overall. It's the men that she is 0 to 100 every single time. And I just, I feel bad. But it sucks because, like, the first season I really liked Demi, and this season I'm just like, ugh. Jessie is a freaking emotional terrorist. Jessie is insane. Jessie is Lisa Rinna on crack, okay? We are making up storylines. We are making up shitty scenarios. We are purposely causing chaos for what? And the thing is like with Jen, I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna believe women, okay? But I'm gonna go off of the fact that she genuinely was going through depression and misery and very, very sad. Okay, so we're gonna believe her. So like that's where my like perspective is on this. It's really sad to me that these women cannot, like, at times I feel like think outside of themselves for like 2 seconds. They cannot just think outside of themselves that somebody might be going through something horrible. Like, for me personally, it sucks because I don't want to agree with Zach, because I don't want to agree with men, because men are pieces of shit. But Zach is right. Like, these are not your friends. These are not people that would treat you like this. If this is my friend, and I'm noticing this certain pattern of behavior, at what point everything is like Jessie keeps saying, like, expose. It's like, is this your friend or not? Because if this is your friend, then you shouldn't be trying to expose your friend. That should not be a thing. You should not constantly be trying to expose your friend. If anything, you should be like, girl, what's going on? What's the problem? Oh my God. Sorry, little dick energy. You should be asking her, like, what's the problem? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you behaving like this? Like, what's happening? Is it because of the Zach situation? Like, what do you need from us? What do you want from us? Like, how can we help you? And if she's just like, I don't know, sometimes I think when your friends are going through a really hard time, you don't need to, like, nitpick everything they fucking say. Sometimes you just need to let them live in delusion and, like, say what they need to say. And that's the thing that I cannot say. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had girlfriends tell me things about their partners or tell me things about their relationship they're red flags. Don't get me wrong, but they're not red flags that are, like, detrimental and, like, need to have, like, a fucking expose on them. Okay, there's not those situations. All right, and you just kind of sit there and listen to them, and you let them say their shit for a while, and you let them do their thing. And if they want to tell you one thing and tell their husband another thing, who gives a shit? Who cares? It's their marriage, not yours. If Jen wants to lie to her husband, let her fucking lie to her husband. Who gives a shit? And for me personally, I think the Chippendales thing was nasty. That's not what a friend would do. A friend would not do that. A friend would not do that. If you know everything that happened, if you know everything that was said, if you know how pissed off Zach was and treated her, if you knew that the trigger to them basically being separated and living in different states was because of that event, why are you bringing that back up again? Why are you embarrassing him in front of his friends? Why are you embarrassing him in front of a whole group of people and then sitting there being like, well, I didn't know. Well, you told her that it would be something silly and fun. You didn't tell her the whole story, and you did that on purpose. Well, we were just trying to keep a little surprise. You're an asshole. I think Jesse's an asshole. I think Jessie is not a good friend. And I'll say this once, and I will say it again about Jessie. She reminds me a lot of Liz Serena, where she is so willing and ready to throw everybody and their mother under the bus, okay? Instantly under the bus. But will not speak about her life in any way, shape, or form. Not in a, like, it's like, oh, there's no drama, no tea around me. It's like, ma'am, I know I guarantee you, clock it right now, okay? Timestamp me right now. I guarantee you, give it a couple more seasons, her business gets brought up. Something shady, stupid, and awful about her business gets brought up. It happens every single time. I've watched so many episodes of Real Housewives, it would blow your fucking mind. And every single time you have that one cast member that's like, I'm perfect, I'm amazing, there's nothing wrong with me, my husband's great, my kids are great, my work is great, everything's great, great. And then all of a sudden, it's not. Then all of a sudden, your business sucks, your how, like, everything's in shambles. Because this is the other thing is, like, I don't know if anybody believes this or not, but, like, if you're gonna put out scary, crazy, fucked up shit on other people, karma's a bitch. You should have known better. That karma's gonna come back and get to you. And when you keep sitting there and talking out of your ass about these women and exposing them for the TV show, you are going to get that back to you, if not like single-handedly the same way, double-handedly. You're just asking for it. It's wild to me that they do this. It is wild to me that someone like Jessie has the audacity to be so terrible to these other women, to be so, especially to Jen, to be so terrible to Jen and Zach. And I don't fucking like dudes, okay? Men are the worst creatures on the planet, okay? But Zach literally ended medical school, allegedly, on his own. I have a theory, and this is not confirmed. This is not even research. This is just a theory. There's two things. Either one, Zach truly is becoming a brand new person, is changing his entire life, and is really making a lot of effort, which would be amazing and wonderful and great. And I would absolutely love that. Or he got kicked out of med school, or was failing out of med school, and had to, or left before anything came out, basically. And he didn't leave for her. He left because he didn't really have a choice. That's my other theory, is that could be a thing with Zach. Someone would have to research that shit for me, because I don't obviously know. I have nothing to back that shit up. But it wouldn't surprise me, okay? But the thing is that I see where Zach is coming from, where he keeps saying, like, I'm not trying to tell her who to be friends with. I'm not trying to tell her to not be in mom talk. But he's like, you guys sit there and you say it over and over again. Oh, women empowerment. Oh, we support women. Oh, we love women. Blah, 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 blah. But you guys are fucking horrible to each other. You're nasty to each other. Women empowerment for who? Who are we empowering? You guys are nasty to each other. And they've always been like that from the very beginning. Like, oh, we're trying to empower women. No, you're not. Who? Who are the women you're empowering? Because you're on your platforms talking mad shit about each other. Speaking of talking mad shit, is it, oh God, what is her name? Fuck, I'm so bad at these names. Hold on, let me look them up. Hold on. Who's the one that hates Whitney right now? The haterade's a little too much. I think we're hating on Whitney a little too much. That being said, though, Whitney is messy girl. Hold on. Who is the cast? See-moi. Cast. Not. Hold on. I can't remember her name. It's not. Miranda's the new girl, which I really like her. I really like her a lot. Michaela, okay? Michaela is, I just feel like Michaela's on one right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because she's being like empowered from therapy and she feels like she can be like this boss ass bitch and sass people. Because I feel like first season she wasn't like that. First season she was very timid and quiet and pretty much did whatever Whitney told her to do and Macy told her to do or whatever. Whereas this season I really feel like she is sticking up for herself. But like, I just don't. She's kind of just like up Whitney's ass, and it's like crazy. It's like, if you don't care about this girl and you don't think about her and you don't give a shit about her and blah 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 blah, like you keep saying, okay, over and over again, then why are you on social media talking shit about her? And why in every situation you are finding ways to talk about her, make it about her, make sure that you're better than her in all these different situations? It's just like weird to me. Like, I just don't know why she keeps doing this over and over and over again. She's like, she cannot help herself. Like, all she wants to talk about is this chick. And it's just like, it gets to a point where it's kind of like, okay, like, can we talk about somebody else? Can we talk about anybody else? And she sits there and she acts like, oh no, I hate her, I can't stand her, blah 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 blah. Bullshit. Sorry guys, I have to take a Midol. My head, I can feel my brain starting to hurt. Don't mind my boobs in your face. I had to take some Midol. I think I'm gonna have to take one of my migraine pills too, possibly, because I can feel one coming on. But yeah, I just don't know why Michaela, sitting there making a sourdough bread when she's making one too, and it's like, it's just too much effort. It's too much effort for the amount of hate that she's putting forward. Oh, that feels so much better. But it's just like too much effort and too much hate. And she's really very, very pointed with that hate towards Whitney. I mean, Whitney, listen, I don't necessarily think Whitney's changed at all. I think Whitney's just figured out how to hide her behavior a lot better. Because when all the stuff was happening at that dinner table with Demi, and you could tell that the girls were starting to like kind of turn on Whitney, she admitted in her confessional, she's like, oh, I need to somehow turn this conversation onto Demi. And it's like, oh, so you know what you're doing. You're just trying to get better at hiding. I will say this, and again, I don't like giving men credit. Okay, I really don't. And I'm sure all these men behind the scenes are probably just horrendous, nasty men, okay? But what I will say is I do appreciate that they have multiple moments where they hold each other accountable. I appreciate that there are multiple moments where they defend the women, where they uplift them, where they speak kindly to them, where they encourage the women to believe in themselves. Hi Lana, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing really good. I'm talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We can talk about whatever you want, but I'm just talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now. Like Zach showing this kind of support that he was doing. I think Whitney's husband being very vulnerable in front of the whole group and talking about like his past experiences and everything that he went through. And I also liked that except for Dakota was kind of the only one, but I appreciated that almost all of the men, whenever they were talking about their flaws and their faults, and even Dakota did really good with this many times, except for when he's kind of like with Taylor, they don't say the one thing I cannot stand listening to men say when they're talking about themselves in a negative way, is they go, oh, well, yes, I admit that I did this, but she did this, or but this is what. No, they have all been very good about not using the but word. And Zach especially, because I've been sitting here waiting for Zach to do, well, but this and but that. Zach's like, no, I was a jackass, I was mean, I was nasty. My thing is, and I have this problem too, this is why I can relate to I can relate to Jen a lot is I have this problem where something bad happens to me and I get stuck in it and I cannot get myself out of it. Like my brain cannot get myself out of it, and I can't like forget what that person did. And I convinced in my head that they're just never going to change, they're never going to get better, and that this is always going to be like this, and you're just going to be good for a week, and then you're going to lie, and then you're going to go back and being a big dumbass. So I never can give that person the grace of becoming a better person. And I'm not talking about if someone does something fucking horrendous. I'm talking about someone does something stupid and mean and nasty. And marriages, people do stupid shit in marriages, okay? I'm not talking about things that are indefensible, okay? I'm talking about things that are, you got to work through it in a marriage. I get how Jen is, because they're like sitting on that bench at, what is it? It looked like a beach or a lake or something, or a park. And they're on the trail and they were talking, and you could hear Jen kind of like, I don't like using the word spiraling, but I use that word for myself because that's what it feels like. Where like you're spiraling and you keep repeating yourself over and over again, and it gets to a point where the person that you're trying to like have this conversation with, it's like, I can't get better if you won't allow me to get better. If you keep bringing up the same thing over and over again, how am I going to compete with that when you're always bringing it up? And he was like, I got to walk away. I got to get on camera. I can't have this conversation. And I'm like, listen, I get that. I do get that. I get it because I am like Jen. I am the one that sits there and goes in circles talking about the same shit over and over again. And then my husband is like, okay, but like, if we keep talking about it, and you don't give me the chance to show you that I can change, then what's the point? And I get that. I really get that. And I also just wish the women had more compassion for Jen and like had more of like a, like, have you just never had friends that like you can just, I don't know, I guess like you guys clearly cannot be that close of friends if you cannot get a vibe that something is going on with Jen. Like if Jen was my friend and I saw the behaviors that she was doing, I would definitely be like, girl, something's going on. Like something's going on. Not like you're trying to be like, there's like some scandal going on in the background. I think personally that Jen is having an identity crisis. That's what I think is happening. Sorry, I have to eat something or I'm gonna pass out. I might also need to get a napkin because I gotta blow my nose. So sexy. I have to eat something or I'm gonna pass out though. This little area I'm sitting in right now is so gorgeous. I don't think I have a wipe or a tissue in here. I don't think I do. I have like everything else but that. Ooh, I have a bunch of lippies though. No. Do you think I have everything else? Do you think I have a tissue? No. We might have to go get one. But I think, thank you for the hearts. I don't even know what the hearts do, you guys. Because they don't add to the likes. So I don't know what the hearts are for on YouTube. I know what they are for the other apps, but not YouTube. I think Jen is going through an identity crisis. This is what I think was what happened. I think what happened was that she was this like cute little Mormon wife, and you know, she did everything she was supposed to do. She got married, she got kids, she has this nice house. She did what the Mormon girl is supposed to do. Okay, she did all the right stuff. Hold on, I'm adjusting my boobolinas. Okay, she did all the right stuff. Then she gets on this TV show, and other people outside her little bubble had comments and opinions, and I think those comments and opinions were empowering to her. And she was like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even realize this. And then I think she was like, oh wow, the audience is on my side. The audience like sees me. I should do something about that. And I think that really did something to her. And now I think she's trying to figure out who she is. Am I a mom talk girl? Am I myself? You know, I also think that she now has a lot of pressure to be the breadwinner, which never happened before. So that's really hard for her, especially now that Zach's not doing med school anymore. That's wild. And then if he's not doing med school, my question is he getting money from his family? Because his family's very wealthy, very, very wealthy. And the big thing for them was he went to med school. And now I'm wondering, because he's not going to med school anymore. And I don't necessarily think his family really loves Jen. Okay? So I just feel like Jen is going through an identity crisis. And the fact that the other women cannot grasp that is crazy to me. It is crazy to me that these other women cannot grasp that that's probably what's going on. Instead, you have Jessie sitting over there being like, we have to expose her. We have to expose her. Expose what? Expose what? What the hell are we talking about? I don't think they do anything just pretty. Yeah, I mean, they are really pretty girls. They're gorgeous. They all look exactly the same. I think that this cast is fantastic, though, for like TV purposes. I think they are amazing. I cannot say enough about how wonderful their show is. I think it's a good little escape from the world. If you're just looking for a like brain rot television, great TV show to watch. I think that the men are really entertaining on the show. I think the women are incredible. Their families, their storylines. I think them saying, if you want to play a drinking game, if you want to get passed out, liquored up, every time they mention mom talk, and every time they say the word mom talk, take a sip of your beverage. You will be in the ER by the end of one episode. One episode, you'll be in the ER. Because they are crazy when it comes to saying that goddamn word. Mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk. Mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk, mom talk. I'm like, what are we doing? Stop saying mom talk. Don't say it anymore. It cracks me the fuck up. Thank you for the hearts. I genuinely don't know what the hearts do. I genuinely don't know what the hearts do. Oh, Lana, now I realize what you were commenting on. You were commenting on the hearts. You weren't commenting on the physical attributes of the women on the show. Cool. Yeah, oh God. It's just, the show is iconic. Iconic. Now the question is, what am I going to do the rest of the night? Because I can bebop around. I can stay here on live, honestly, and hang out with you guys and talk with you guys. We can walk around. Where's dad talk? Not dad talk. Not fucking dad talk. God damn. That is, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's what dad talk reminds me of. It reminds me of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm like, you guys are giving me, it's giving calendar. It's giving New Jersey house husbands calendar. And I don't like that. Which also, speaking of Real Housewives of New Jersey, I am like 99.9% sure that Andy Cohen basically like all but confirmed that New Jersey is not coming back and that Rhode Island is literally going to be the take, like it's going to like replace New Jersey. Because he said something to the effect of like these Rhode Island women are like real Italians, like hardcore family values, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girl, not you like shit talking Jersey. Not you shit talking. Rhode Island's going to be wild, you guys. Rhode Island is going to be a shit show, and I cannot wait. Because if you are from this area, if you are from New England, girl, these people are wild, okay? And I don't mean like wild, like, I don't know, like not like party crazy, like blah, blah, blah. They're wild in the sense that like people from this area, people from like the Northeast are so blunt. And I think that's what you see when you see like the New York, when you see Potomac, when you see Jersey, like very unapologetically, like in your face, cut to the like bone, honest. And that's what I feel like we're going to get with Rhode Island. I think what we're going to get is hardcore, like, in your face shit. I don't think we get that with New York anymore. I think New York has a bunch of baby back bitches. I'm like, just say what you want to say. old school New York, the old seasons of New York, girl, they were saying whatever the hell they wanted to a fault. And now the new girls, it's just not as good. And I will say this, I think I say this every video I make on the fucking internet at this point. Every video I make on the internet. I think the reason why, in my opinion, Jersey is one of the best Real Housewife franchises, the OG girls, okay? Why I think it is one of the best Real Housewife franchises, hands down, is truly because they were at the demographic that was the age above like social media. So like I'm 35, I'm a millennial. So like the age above millennials, they were on that cusp where like the internet didn't really affect them or like change them or like make them act differently. They're still themselves. And they didn't really understand the concept of like the audience basically. And that's why they were so good, because they were just themselves. They were just themselves. And which was why it was so iconic, because they would just sit there and they would say the most obnoxious, ridiculous things. And they would talk so out of pocket. They would talk completely nutso, okay? And boomers, yeah, the boomer era and Gen X or whatever. They didn't let social media affect them or their personalities or who they were. So they were just acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with no consequences and could care less. It was amazing. That's why I think they were just one of the best, if not the best casts, because they were in that incredible little spot. And because you sit there and watch Ramona doesn't give a shit what people on the internet are saying about her. She doesn't know what she barely even knows how to turn up probably her phone on, okay? Luann is so goddamn delusional. She doesn't even know where she is, I think, half the goddamn time. Dorinda, delusional. Sonia, queen of delusion. Which is why that show is so fucking good. Which is why that show was so good. And I can't stand Bethany Frankel. Okay, I cannot stand this woman. Like today's Bethany Frankel. But was she not an incredible cast member? Yeah, she was. For the group of women that she was with, incredible. Because she was really good at, on one hand, she was really good at being so sarcastic and kind of like making fun of them. And kind of calling them out on their bullshit, which was really funny to watch. But then at the same time, she was very blunt with them and very like cutthroat. She was also delusional herself, and she also was really good about, people want to give Bethany a lot of shit. She really cut herself wide open and showed herself a lot. That's another thing that I really loved about that franchise too, is that like every single woman on that show was vulnerable at one point. Every single one of them was open, cut wide open, and vulnerable. And there are franchises where there are women that you don't know shit about them, and they've been on multiple seasons, and you don't know nothing about them. And that's not good. That's not good. And so I hope we see better stuff with Rhode Island. I hope we get to see these women like really give us something. Give us like their heart and soul. Expose yourself a little bit. Be funny. Have fun. Be playful. Don't take yourself too seriously, and get the fuck off the internet. Get off the internet. That's the other thing. Get off the internet. Like, obviously you want to have a social media presence, and I totally get that. But like, when they're too in the know about the internet, that's when it starts going downhill for me. That's when it starts getting a little hairy. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go because I need to go to the ladies' room. I need to put my stuff in the trash, and then I'm gonna go walk around. Maybe I'll go live somewhere else later today, but that's where we're at right now. So I wanted to say, hi, how are you? I hope you're having a great day. You look gorgeous. You look wonderful. Your ass is delicious. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Go check out the podcast. Go check out my social media platforms. Go check out my Discord. I will put stuff later on in the description because, again, for some reason, it wouldn't let me do that in the description today. I don't know why. It was so fucking weird. But other than that, you guys have a great afternoon, great evening, and I hope you're enjoying the day. I hope it's beautiful where you are because it's gorgeous where I am right now. And I'll see you later. I love you. Bye.